What's up, guys? This is K Guy here, bringing you another episode of Epic 7 video. Today, we'll be debuting the newest ML5 hero, Operator Sigret, sitting right here at the table. Ooh, so she's looking at the hologram of the crown, right? Golden crown. Oh, it has exclamation mark. Okay, very cool animation. So ML Cigarette is a very strong 5-star hero. Um, I have mine built on speed and hit set because I happen to have two very strong hit set like gears. For example, this one is pretty good, right? It has the crit chance, crit damage, and speed and attack. And the boots here is like speed but with damage substats. So mine is at like 200 speed, right? And 3000 attack, 80% crit chance, and 290 crit damage. So I think you can lower her speed a little bit to add more damage. I think because you're gonna use like Oxlot or Flidica, right, for the push anyway. And I have mine on the Tonfa Exorcist because you want her S2 to delete the enemy so that you can gain an extra turn. So I think the only good artifact on her is Portrait of the Savior or Tonfa, right? Because I don't have like extra copies of Portrait, so I use the plus 30 Tonfa here. And she works out pretty well, not to mention that the effectiveness, right? You need some effectiveness on her. Let's get into the skills. So S3, right? 100% to decrease buff duration by 1 turn before decrease combat readiness by 20%. This is a huge skill, Obliterate, because I put the Mola here, so we have a 100% chance to strip, right? It's more like a Cerise S3. And you push CR back. This is very huge, right? You deny the enemy terms and you put a attack buff to all of your team members. So it's a very high utility skills here. And you sober, you can extend the duration of the buff by 1 turn, but this is the sober is not very good. So S2, annihilation. So grants an extra turn when the enemy is defeated and penetrates defense by 50% or by 100% when the target is granted a barrier. So this makes her really good against like FCC or ML crowd, especially because for FCC it's hard to say because you might want to open up with S3. It depends on the situation and you might strip the shield, right? But for ML crowd, like say once your Flidica S2 and ML crowds puts up the shield and you can use this to delete the target immediately. And not to mention that S1, right? It's like attack and have some small healing. The healing is not that good, like it's 1,000, 2,000. I wouldn't suggest you to run her on a counter set for the healing. It's just like something nice to have here. And overall, I think ML Sigret is a very good cleave unit. I recommend you to build her like, like the top model Luluka, or you build her on like a more damage focused build that could also work as well. And I think you need to run CR push for her, otherwise because she cannot get turn 1 by her own speed, and you don't want to put her with like high speed and no damage because you still want her to be able to delete the enemy unit by using the defense penetration S2. Let's get into some RTA fight. Okay, let's go. Pre-ban FCC because I want to cleave. And we're fighting a legend player. I believe he is the top 20 in the current ladder. And he first picked the Emerald Crow. So I go with Arbiter and Faceless Litica for the standard cleave setup. And Lilius, very tanky hero. And the Mersa, I don't know why though, but we're gonna go with the Oxlaw and Seedong. And then we're gonna last pick the Operator Sigret, the Bazaar, and the Tempest Surin. So we pick Operator Sigret here, and then we need to ban the Bazaar because Bazaar is fast, right? And then we should be fine. Okay, he bans the Arbiter Wildred. Look, this is the perfect scenario because we have Emerald Crow on the board. You will see how powerful she is. So we boost Seedom, and then we push everyone. And then we pop the Emerald Crow. Boom. Okay, we didn't pop the Emerald Crow. That's a problem. Okay, so we S2 the we S2 the Lilius. Ignore defense 100%. Boom. Gone. Okay, very nice. And get an extra turn. And then we do the S3. Right? Push everyone back. And then boost up the Seedong and the attack buff. And then we reset the Crow. Let's do some cheap damaging. And then we pop the Mersa with the Soul Burn. Yeah, let's go. Bop. Yeah, he gone, right? And then we work on the rest of the 2 units. See, this is why it's so powerful, because if you have the barrier, right, this is basically 100 to 0 somewhat. And yeah, that's the scenario where Operator Sigret shines, right? Yeah, she can S3 here, but it doesn't really matter because Crow is reset and silenced. And then we can just, you know, work on it, yeah. And then we, yeah, default attack. And as you can see here, right, she's also healing my Seedom back. And it heals for a small amount, like 1,500. GG. Okay, for the next fight, so we are going with a Cerise ban this time because I don't want to get outspent. And he bans the Flidica, so there's a little bit problem. First pick the Landy. So we go Oxlaw and Arbiter, standard cleave setup. But I don't have Flidica in this situation, right? So I need to think about it. And he answered with the top model Lulu to counter the Arbiter. And the Water Kisei, interesting. Is it a fast Water Kisei? So I go with the Rose, right, instead of the Flidica and the Operator Sigret. Tempesura and the K-Rock. So I'm going with last pick the Mersa, yeah, to just make sure that I get turn 1 because like my Rose is kind of slow. So if Oxlaw could get banned, I want to still have turn 1. And yeah, and I banned the top model Lulu. So it turns out that it didn't ban my Oxlaw, so I can do a cleave setup. And Rose is banned. Okay, we push Operator Sigret, and then we S3. Oh, we S2 actually kills the Kisei. Bob, yes, get another turn. And we S3 here. Yeah, you almost never want to sober an S3 because the one more turn attack bar is not very useful. Look at the animation though, the drone attack. Drone, okay, we got the counter. And this triggers the Tempest Surin and it cuts. And Mersa here pops the Chiron and the Silence, right? Very nice. And then we work on the Landy here. Work on the Landy and then we Bob the Landy. Yeah, the Landy can hit my Arbiter, no problem. I'm gonna come back and wipe the board, right? And Mersa dodges, very nice. No greater attack buff, but it doesn't matter. And Chiron is blind and silent, so this is a GG. Yeah. I'll show you my ability. And we bop. Yeah, GG. Okie dokie, for our last fight, we are still gonna go with the same cleave setup. And we are fighting a player in Asia. And I pre-banned the Cerise because Cerise is OP and I don't have her. She's too fast for me. So first pick Falcon and Glory first pick, okay. Flitica, Arbiter Wildred. So what's the next two picks going to be? Top model Luluka to counter the Arbiter Wildred. And oh, he's thinking hard here. So what's the next pick? General Purgus to counter the Flitica. Okay. So yeah, so I pick Oxlock and Operator Sigret because depends on the overall team comp, right? I can choose what to pick in the last spot. Ruel and Tempest Surin. And I think in this situation, I'm gonna go with the Water Shuri for the speed imprint and ban the General Purgus to make sure Flitica is working properly. Okay, interesting. Water Shuri is banned. But we still got our cleave combo going. So we push ML Sigret here. And I don't want to S2 because if it doesn't kill, and we're gonna run into trouble. So I'm going to S3 here. And push everyone back. Oh no, Tempest Surin actually cuts. That's bad. Okay, and Flitica here can kill the top model Luluka. But we have a problem, right? Oh, and the Flurry gets a turn. Yeah, we have a problem because if the Ruel revives the top model Luluka, and then she's gonna kill my Arbiter so that he cannot comes back. This is really bad. Oh no no no. No. So Tomoka revives. And oh nice! Oxlock actually cuts. Speed Oxlock. So we sober and silence the top model Luluka. And we can give Arbiter another turn to do more damage. Very nice. And we can S3 here. Okay, Ruel is gone. And we can even S3 here, right? For the guaranteed skill nullifier on the Arbiter Wildred. Very nice. That Oxlock though. Coming clutch. And yeah, she can't do anything here. And I think this is a GG. And we bop the Surin. Boom. 1500 heal. Nice. That's all I have for you guys today. Overall, I think Operator Sigret is definitely a very strong ML 5-star hero, but I think she's very hard to build and shines the most in a cleave setup with the Oxlock push. And yeah, because the problem is that the S2 multiplier is a bit low and you want her S2 to delete someone in order to get a turn, right? So if you don't build her in high damage, then she would not be able to use her S2 to delete the target and get another turn. Another downfall is that if you use S3 first, she deals too much damage and it can be a problem, right? Like for example, against Temper Surin, and Temper Surin can actually cuts. And she has no built-in survivability other than the cheap S1 heal. So I don't think she's meta changing, but her design very awesome, right? The drone attack, the S3 and all that. If you are really into this waifu, you can pull for her. Yeah, and that's my thought on Operator Sigret. I think she's an 8 out of 10. Not a must pull, definitely, not meta changing, but very good to have if you're a cleave player to have, right? In your rosters. And with that being said, if you really like my video, please make sure to click on that like button and subscribe for future content. That really helps me a lot and encourage me to share more gaming experience with the community. And I hope you guys all have a great day, and we'll see you guys next time.